with the release of 1.2, guys. And yes, we did our albedo summons, so check those out in the videos that are going to be linked at the top thing, you know, the little white things. It's going to be up there, as well as in the end of the video. So make sure you check those summons out. They were absolutely insane. We spent $200, and yeah, go see what I got. Anyway, in today's video, I told you guys we would go over this, so we're going to go over this. It's the new Heart Adept set, which I never have been over. I have never explained why I feel like it's very important. But yes, the Heart Adept set is going to make Childe a monster. And I know that Childe was released in 1.1. Y'all are not really worried about him right now. But if you have him, I fret you not. You should watch this video. Now, before we get into this video, before we explain how broken this set is on Childe, before we do, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,800 because you guys are amazing and I love y'all. And also smash the like button down below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and go over Childe and then go over this set and go over as to why this set is extremely broken on him and why you should opt for it on your Childe. Oh man, they really should on your Tartaglia. Anyway, let's get into the video. Alright. Here we have Tartaglia, aka Childe, and first thing I want to talk about before we even get into the set is that once you ascend your Tartaglia, you'll notice that he has hydro damage bonus. So basically when you ascend him, you're going to get your HP, your defense, your attack, but also you're going to get hydro damage. So that is going to be really good as to him doing a lot of hydro damage once he swaps to his skill. And that's definitely going to, trust me, it's going to do a lot of damage with hydro, so it's really good. And then we have his normal attack, which is very unique for the fact of the charge. Now he has a debuff on his charge, right? So as you see, perform a more precise aim shot with increased damage while aiming. The power of hydro will accumulate around the arrowhead. An arrow fully charged with the torrent will deal hydro damage and apply the Riptide status. Opponents affected by Riptide will suffer from AoE hydro damage effects when attacked by Tartaglia in various ways. Damage dealt this way is considered normal attack damage. Riptide Flash, a fully charged aim shot that hits an opponent affected by Riptide, deals consecutive bouts of AoE damage, can occur once every 0.7 seconds. Riptide Burst, defeating an enemy opponent affected by Riptide creates a hydro burst that inflicts the Riptide status on nearby opponent's hit. Right, so basically how this works is once you shoot an arrow fully charged, you will basically, if you have the passive, I think it's this one, let me see, right here, you can do it with this. And also when you charge your arrow, you're going to guaranteed hit a Riptide status on your enemy. And once you hit that Riptide status on your enemy, it basically has this little 3 eyeballs, basically like a triangle shape, upside down triangle. And then once you shoot them again, it's going to boom, do AoE hydro damage. But it has to be another charged shot, or you have to be in melee stance doing charged attacks. And if you're in melee stance, like it says right here in his passive, when Tartaglia is in 4 Legacy Raging Tide melee stance, on dealing a crit hit, normal and charged attacks apply Riptide status effect to opponents. So basically, if you do Riptide on Riptide or Riptide on Hydro, it's going to do an AoE Hydro regardless because of how the passive works. And as you can see, you get extended Riptide duration by 8 seconds once you unlock his passive right here as well. So let's go ahead and go over this right here, which is his Raging Tide, which is his elemental skill. As you can see, it unleashes a set of weaponry made of pure water, dealing hydro damage to surrounding enemies and entering melee stance. In this stance, Tartaglia's normal and charged attacks are converted to hydro damage. They cannot be overridden by any other elemental infusion, and the changes follow. Normal attacks go up to 6 consecutive hydro strikes. Charge attack consumes stamina and unleashes a cross slash, dealing hydro damage. And then you do Riptide Slash, hitting an opponent affected by Riptide with a melee stance. Attack unleashes a Riptide Slash that deals AoE hydro damage. And damage dealt in this way is considered elemental skill damage and can only occur once every 1.3 seconds, right? And this is the percentages. Mine's is only level 5. I haven't leveled them up in a while because we've been getting too many new characters. And then we have stance damage 95, 1 hit 52, 2 hit 56, 3 hit 76, 4 hit 81, 5 hit 75, and then 6 hit 48 plus 51. Charge attack is 81 plus 97, which is a really good multiplier, which sets him up for a lot of charge. When you do a lot of charge attacks and you're in this form, you're going to do a lot of damage, right? And then the Riptide Slash 82% stamina, charge stamina cost is 20 though. That's pretty expensive. And the max duration you could be in this form is 30 seconds. The preemptive cooldown, you can like end the cooldown early in order to, like, say for example, you go into it, do one charge attack, go out of it. 6-second cooldown, guys. So you can really choose how long you want your cooldown to be. But if you use it for the full 30 seconds, you're gonna have like a 36-second cooldown, or 45-second cooldown, I believe, if you use it for the full seconds. The max cooldown, yeah, 45 seconds, exactly. So yeah, like I said, you can really do the preemptive way, because that's really how you're supposed to use him, because you don't want to wait 45 seconds to do all that hydro damage. Even though this is a really good stall, because if you don't know, once you do these charge attacks on him and do the hydro damage and the Riptide, you're getting energy particles back to get his elemental burst. So let's go over his elemental burst. So this is a really good stall for when you get your raging, before you get your raging tide back. So let's go over his elemental burst, right? Basically, there's two things about this elemental burst that is insane. You have basically the first one, which is the rain stance, flash of havoc. Swiftly fires a hydro imbued magic arrow, dealing AoE hydro damage and applying the Riptide status. Returns a portion of its energy cost after use. Now, what I have to say about this is applying the Riptide status before you do your elemental burst is needed if you want more damage. And also another thing to note is that in his range stance, once you do his elemental burst, it's gonna basically give you most of your energy back. So like, say for example you do it, usually you run all the way out of energy. No, your energy goes at least a little bit over halfway back just from doing it once. So basically you can spam this and spam it over and over and over again, because you get your elemental energy, you get the energy back so much faster. Now the melee stance, you do not receive energy back. This is called Light of Obliteration. This performs a slash with a large AoE, dealing massive hydro damage to all surrounding opponents, which triggers Riptide Blast. And Riptide Blast, when obliterating waters hits an opponent affected by Riptide, it clears the Riptide status and triggers a hydro explosion that deals AoE hydro damage. That's another reason why I say make sure you apply Riptide to your opponents before you do your elemental burst on both of them. Now I'm gonna show you the skill attributes for both of them. They range really high, like zonely high. As you can see, on level 7, skills damage on melee is 696, and skills damage on range is 568. The Riptide Blast damage is 180, and the energy return, which is when you do the ranged elemental burst, is 20. Cooldown's 15, energy cost is 60. And right here as well, yeah, that's it. That's really it. I forgot that he doesn't have two slides, because having two elemental bursts in one is insane to me. But yeah, really that's about it for him. I really want to go over why this Heart of Depth set will be really good on him. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Here we have the Heart of Depth set, which was released in 1.2. Guys, this has a 2-piece bonus of hydro damage plus 50%. Already that is a benefit. Why? Because we have no sets in the game that give hydro damage bonus, unless you get the main set of hydro damage bonus. You have no sets in the game that do give us hydro damage bonus. So that is really good that we're finally getting a hydro set, Heart of Depth set. That's really good. And another thing to note is the 4-piece. Now you're probably saying, I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, I would probably sometimes run 2-piece into 2-piece Heart of Depth, which is for the hydro damage plus 15%, and the Noblesse Oblige, because of the elemental damage bonus, because I like hitting big numbers. But honestly, you can offer this because it's probably more consistent. After using an elemental skill, you will increase your normal attack and charge attack by 30% for 50 seconds. Why is this good? Well, that is because if you don't know, like it said, you could do a preemptive. You could do it preemptive on Childe. So what I'm saying is basically, you go into your elemental skill, and it's going to increase your normal and charge attack of that elemental skill by 30%. So it's going to make him a DPS mainly that's reliant on his elemental skill, right? For 15 seconds. And after those 15 seconds are up, you could just end your cooldown. Like you could literally not end your cooldown. You could end the elemental skill and then go for the preemptive cooldown, so it's not too long. And then by the time you start stalling with the charged arrows and applying the debuff on your enemies, boom, this is gonna be back, and then your elemental skill is gonna be back, and then you're gonna be able to proc this again and get the 30% increased normal and charge attack damage. Now I'm going to do tests on this, and I want to make a video about this, because this set seems extremely good if you want to use this elemental skill a lot and spam a lot. And another thing to note is on his circlet, goblet, and sands, what you want is you want crit damage, you want more hydro damage, yes, because he's going to be doing a lot of hydro damage, you want more hydro damage, and then you want attack percent. So those are just basic. You want that as much if you can. You possibly can get those. I know it's really hard getting crit damage. You can opt for crit rate over crit damage if you want to, but honestly I say crit damage because honestly I feel like in substats you should have crit rate and crit damage on all of your pieces, your flower, your plume, your sans, your goblet, your circlet. I feel like you should have crit damage and crit rate and attack percent, or crit damage, crit rate, or crit damage in the substats, and that's just really that's really going to be good for him. I feel like this set, 4-piece set, is very viable for him, and that's probably what everybody's going to run, considering that his elemental skill will do tons of more damage because of the 30% increased normal and charge attacks, and also having that hydro damage plus 15%. So it's going to be insane, guys, and I feel like this is so good because like this is perfect for him, and then like him having a preemptive cooldown, it makes it even better because like you can just like you can make it so viable and so consistent to do more damage and more damage. But like I said, if you don't want to run the 4-piece, you could probably run the 2-piece of this with the 2-piece Noblesse Oblige set, which will give you the 20% elemental burst damage, which is also really good if you want to like do tons of damage on your elemental burst. Now you have more hydro damage to do that tons of elemental damage. And yeah, so that's really about it for this video. I wanted to go over the Heart of Depth set and how does this correlate so good to Childe? Why are people saying it's so good for Childe? It is good for Childe, and it is going to be probably his most consistent option. And yeah, that's really about it. And honestly, this combined with the rusted bow is going to be kind of broken. If you don't play for big numbers, because right now I'm running the stringless bow for the elemental damage. I want to do as much elemental damage as possible, elemental burst damage as possible. So I run the stringless for the plus 24% elemental burst damage. But if you run the rust with this and have the 4-piece, that's it. He's gonna do a lot of damage. I actually want to see that, so I'm gonna level up my rust and see how that works. So guys, without further ado, we're gonna make those videos really soon. Also, there's gonna be an Albedo showcase really soon. I'm working on him right now as we speak, basically on my other PC right here. So definitely guys, stay tuned for all this. And if you have Childe, definitely keep this set into consideration. This new set is really hype. The 4-piece is really good, and the 2-piece is really good if you want to offer 2-piece and another 2-piece of something else, whether it's Noblesse or whether it's anything else you want, or crit rate, anything like that. But basically, yeah, that's really about it for this video, and I just wanted to go over this because of how good it is. And I hope that like once I put this on Childe, that maybe I might opt for this over the elemental burst damage because it's consistent, like I said. So anyway guys, we'll see about that once we make that video, once we test this stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,800. And yeah, without further ado, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.